the comic EF.
What is up, besties? It is your girl Karmic, back to you again with another video. And this time, we are going to take a look at Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater, an update on their relationship. You are welcome. You are welcome. Obviously, I already did the video. I got a little bit of information about the album as well. I don't know what has come out about the album yet, but I got kind of her thought process about the album, her thought process about her fans, and what's going on right now, why, you know, she's not really out like she usually is. I also took a look at how Dalton's feeling and where he's at, and I also ended it with how Lily's feeling and where she's at. And let me tell you, I wish I could be friends with that girl, because that tea was piping hot and she is vibes for sure. But as always, this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. There are no facts here. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you guys here. Hey to my besties. Hey regulars. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Like this video if you enjoy it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys may know that I may not, because that's pretty normal. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, just letting you guys know, I have like a 10-ish day wait right now. So message me on Facebook, Instagram, or my email, and I will try to get you in as soon as possible. But yeah, without further ado, I covered Ari and her feelings. I covered Ethan and his feelings, and he's an interesting one. I covered Dalton. That's a man right there. And I finished it with a nice little bow of Lily. And I think that you guys are really going to enjoy this deep dive. So without further ado, besties, let's get into it. All right, besties. So we are going to take a look at Ari and Ethan's relationship and go from there. Now, I'm going to be honest. I always shuffle off screen. And I keep hearing the song If I Was a Rich Girl, which is old school. Where it's like, said I had all the money in the world if I was a wealthy girl. And I see Ari with like her head tilted up, like kind of like a snob. So I kind of feel like she's really more about her money right now. And I see her kind of, don't scream at me, Ari fans. I really like her music. I don't have a skin in this game. I feel like she's pissed. She feels misunderstood. I'm hearing the song Miss Independent, so it's like I'm gonna focus on myself. It's kind of like she feels like her fans have let her down. Like, my goal of this reading was to watch the interview of her talking about her and Ethan, and it was like 2 minutes of nothingness. Like, she doesn't even really talk about it. And when I was watching that, I got body language that was giving me like, you guys won't understand anyway. You don't understand my love. You don't understand me. You don't understand this, that, the third. She feels very misunderstood, 1:11 on the clock when I'm saying that. So it's kind of hard because there's this arrogance that's coming out of her, but it's from a wounding. So it's not like I'm sitting here and saying, oh, she's an evil, selfish, you know what. It's just, I don't know. It's just giving me an ick. Like, this is not the type of girl that you want to be friends with, you know? You know what this is remind me of? I don't remember which Taylor Swift reading it was, because y'all have had me do a bunch of them. But there was one where it seemed like she was always on the defense, where she was like, everybody's out to get me, and just like hyper, just in like a fight or flight type of phase. I feel like that's where Ari's at right now. It's like, I'm hearing the song Thank You Next, but it's more like people as a whole. Like, has she become more recluse lately? Like, obviously it doesn't shock me if she's not in the media with Ethan 24/7, but is she like not really out at all? Because it's kind of giving me like, I'm waiting for the dust to settle. I'm waiting for people to love me again. Maybe this new album will make people love me again, or at the bare minimum, understand me. Because she feels incredibly misunderstood. She's like, I don't get it. People move like this all the time. Why are you mad? I chose love. I chose myself. Don't you guys support me? I think what she's starting to realize, and my throat's starting to go as I'm talking about this, is that there are consequences for actions, and that just because you're famous doesn't mean you can get away with everything. And unfortunately, the industry itself does allow a lot of people to get away with shit, and she's not wrong in that men tend to get away with even more. I mean, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. We all know that he treats her like shit, but no one's ever screaming, hey, let's free Beyonce. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, oh, she brought it on herself, which that would take a whole other reading, or go watch the last one I did on Beyonce and Jay-Z. But there's just this like pessimism, negativity, and anger towards her fans of like, you don't get what I'm going through. You don't get me. And it's like, thank you, next. But it's to her fans. And honestly, I just feel like this album coming out is more about her telling her side through music, because she feels like she's more understood that way. And then it's like, well, if they still hate me, at least I made some bangers and at least I made some more money. So it's definitely coming from a wound, but also a level of arrogance that is unfounded because she stole somebody's man. So like, I don't know. But let's take a look at how their beautiful, almost screwed up her entire fandom relationship is going. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. How are her and Mr. Ethan? Okay, well, they're both focused on work. I think they're trying to, this feels like we're trying to make light out of a bad situation. Because I'm hearing the song from Will Smith where his son's in it and he's like, Daddy, this is a very sensitive subject. And it's like, let's remove emotions and let's keep the passion alive. Like, that's the vibe. And this with the King of Swords, that's Ethan because he's a Gemini. So it's giving me the vibe of like, let's focus on our work. Let's focus on what made us passionate to begin with. Let's have fun when we can have fun. It's giving me like, I want balance. That's a healthy behavior for a Gemini. I want to work and I want to play. Like I keep hearing the song, work hard, play hard. So I do think that they're still bonding. I do think that they're still getting to know each other. I do think that the love is still kind of growing. Especially considering I was called to draw in this deck and then he comes out first and the Justice is literally on the King of Swords. So I think from his perspective, it's like all's good on this end. So forgive my ignorance here, but I don't follow musicals. Is he in the one that she's currently working on? Because I just remember everybody calling him SpongeBob. So is he in this one with her? Because it feels like we're working together. So if they're not working together on the musical, then they're just working together behind the scenes. I don't know how that plays out. But it's just giving me this vibe of like, let's just focus on our work. Let's realize, I feel like he's kind of, maybe the dad thing's helping him, but he's kind of like giving me dad vibes. Like, let's just focus on what matters. Let's focus on the present moment. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It kind of almost seems like he can calm Ari down, like make her, you know what it's giving me the vibe? You ever like, because I know that most of my audience is predominantly women, which is a bummer. I would like to see a mixture, but you know how like you get really, really, really worked up and then like someone you care about will be like, look at this, and it's something funny and it gets you out of your head. Like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from Ethan right now. It's like, I know shit's tough right now, so let's build each other up. For once, I'm surprised to say it's not unhealthy yet. Okay. Yeah, I feel like Ari right now is in a very defensive headspace, a very defensive mindset. Is she coming up on a Saturn return? Because you know what I'm hearing in the song? What I'm hearing in my head is the song, What I Say Goes, I'm in Control. I feel like she kind of, metaphorically speaking, wears the pants in this relationship. Because she's a Cancer, but she's coming out as a Queen of Swords. And with this Ace of Cups, it's giving me the vibe of like, I mean, Ethan's got the energy of like the jokester, right? Like, wouldn't shock me if in high school it was like the comedian of the group type energy. But I feel like he tries to like calm her down and like give her like words of affirmation, make her feel loved, and she's just like, you need to listen to me. Like, I'm going through it and you need to understand. Like, I can almost hear it's giving me like Meghan Markle energy, like meh, 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 meh. Like that's kind of the vibe. And he's like, girl, chill. Like, it's not that deep. Like, we removed ourselves. We're not around the paparazzi that much. People aren't talking about us as much because we're not, you know, the focus right now. So you don't always have to have your guard up. But I feel like she just sees, like, you know what this is reminding me of? This Queen of Swords right here. She's holding a book, but it's reminding me of the burn book from Mean Girls. So I feel like she's like, everybody's out to get me. Everybody hates me. I think, you know what the problem is? And this is what celebrity culture breeds. So it's not shocking. When you're worshipped for just existing, and then you do something that's human. I'm not saying what she did was right, but she's human. Everybody can turn on you, millions of people. And imagine if millions of people hated you overnight. You know what I mean? You might lose your stability mentally. So I can kind of see the point. I'm not saying what she did was right. I'm just saying imagine that the world loved and was obsessed with you, and then overnight they hated your guts. You know what I mean? So I feel like she's having an identity crisis. Like that's why she's coming out as the Queen of the Swords. She has a Gemini energy to her too, where sometimes she's good and then sometimes it's like, I cannot believe, like, look at how she's wearing a crown. It's like, I was the queen. What the fuck happened? Like, she really cannot come to terms with why you guys or whoever is pissed. It's like I did what I had to do. Remember, this industry is dog eat dog. So it's not really about like, oh, your feelings and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we have seen girls be girlfriends. Like Selena and Taylor are pretty much a dynamic duo. But I just feel like Ari doesn't know how to move like that. I don't know what the difference is because Selena grew up in the industry as well. But I think Ari's learned really early on that in order to be successful in this industry, you have to be cutthroat. So it's like, I'll keep people close because I care about connections. And I mean, she is a Cancer, so she's going to have emotions. But at the same time, if you've ever met a Cancer before, they will hold everything away from you if they don't feel safe. And right now, she does not feel safe. And that's the problem. And so Ethan's kind of getting the brunt of it right now. And he's kind of just letting her verbally beat on him because it's like, well, yeah, I contributed to the reason that you're struggling right now. And I think he's just making a lot of excuses for her. But at the same time, this isn't a healthy relationship. And most of the readings that I do on these celebrities are not healthy relationships. And you're not going to have me sit here and be like, this is healthy enough. No, it's not. But that being said, I feel like he can calm her down. There's something about him that can get her out of her head. I mean, it's funny because it's a Queen of Swords, but it kind of looks like her with that long color hair. You know what I mean? But that Seven of Wands speaks volumes. It's like, I wonder if this album is going to be to try and get people to understand her better. Because I'm hearing the song from Britney where it's like, I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. And it's reminding me of like coming of age. Like if you're a millennial, there was a lot of bands that we used to listen to that would talk about like, you know, growing up. Like, Perfect by Simple Plan, where it was like, I'm sorry I can't be perfect. It's kind of giving me this vibe of like, this album is going to help people understand the real me. I don't think she's right though, to be honest. I think she's going to make some bangers, don't get me wrong, but I think people are still going to be like Uno reverse, yes and, you know what I mean? Like, I think some of her music's going to be like, this is me. This is who I am. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song where it's like, you be a fool to not take me as I am. But at the same time, I think she's going to try to explain herself through her music. But at the same time, just like the song where she's like, yes, and I feel like you guys are going to Uno reverse her and be like, yes, and sure, your songs are bangers, but you still broke up a happy home. You know what I'm saying? I think she's got this weird delusion where it's like, I can win my fans over again if I put out more bangers. It's like she doesn't have any awareness to be, because, you know, it's giving me the vibe of like she could solve this tonight if she just went live on IG, no makeup, and was just like, listen, like I made a poor choice. I fell for a guy I wasn't thinking. That wasn't a girl's girl move to do. But instead she's like, let me channel it through my music. Maybe people will understand me. So in terms of this album, I think it's coming out soon, right? Like, I think it's in a few days, so maybe I should put this out today. Filming on Wednesday. It's just giving me the vibe of like the music will speak for itself. You'll understand. It's almost giving me the vibe of like I don't know if the CD will play out like a book, but it's kind of giving me that vibe. Like maybe you'll get some music that's about her and her struggles. And then you might get some music about like the breakups that she's been through. I don't know if they've dropped any other songs besides Yes and. I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow shit like this. No disrespect. Unless Eminem drops a new record, I'm probably not gonna look. Like, but it's just giving me this vibe of like trying to explain myself through music, but it's not going to do what she thinks it will. In fact, I almost see her like having to stay in a form of hiding, at least when it comes to Ethan. Like, she's going to come out for the accolades of the album. I think it's going to do well. Obviously, it's Ari, but it's just kind of giving me this vibe of like I almost see her walking the red carpet and it's like, should I even bring Ethan? This is going to be a point of contention. You know what I'm being drawn to? Oh my God. And I'm not saying that this was okay because this is cruel. And we've read the Justin, Selena, Haley sagas. So yeah, leave that alone or go check those videos out. But remember how Haley went on some sort of red carpet or white carpet, whatever the frick, with Justin and everybody was screaming Selena's name? I can almost see that happening to Ari. I don't know if it's definitely going to happen or if it's something she's concerned about. But I almost see her being like, should I even bring Ethan? Because I almost see her like, I wonder if she's thinking back to that moment. Because I just keep getting that vibe of like when everybody was screaming Selena and then Haley was crying. So it's kind of giving me that same vibe, like, should I even bring Ethan? Because what if they start screaming Dalton's name or scream Homewrecker? I'm hearing Homewrecker in my mind too. So I think she's concerned about just in general, just all, I mean, she's coming out as a sword. That's thoughts. She's paranoid and respectfully, kind of rightly so. The star, yeah, this is all about like what I look like in the public eye. I think she also thinks that she could throw money at this problem. I know this is supposed to be about their relationship, but I mean, it feels like it coincides with the album. With that 4 of coins in the reverse, it's like, I'm a superstar. If I just throw money at this problem, if I put out some bangers, people will move on. And you know what? As toxic as that is, she's not wrong because how many things happen in the news that we move on from? It's how it's made. Like, Gaza happened during the Super Bowl. Shit happens. This is how things move. So she's not wrong. And I wouldn't be surprised if people did move on because they love her music. Like, I can almost see people being like, yeah, she did that, but did you hear that song? It was a fucking banger. You know what I mean? So I just feel like she's in a headspace now where she feels defensive. She doesn't want to be out in public as much. And she thinks that if she throws money at the problem, it'll go away. Yeah, she's like, this isn't, and then it's her mind too. She's like, this isn't fair. And because I'm in her mind, it's like, you're not wrong because nobody's really coming after Ethan. Like, I don't see anybody really going, Ethan, you're a piece of shit, and boycotting Ethan and boycotting his musicals. Nothing. Like, I don't see any of that. So it's not that she's wrong. I think the problem is she's having a completely different experience from Ethan, who she's seeing 24/7. So she's getting attacked on, you know, Instagram and interviews and this and that and the third, and she's doing her work and he's doing his work. They both come home and they have completely different experiences, but they both made that choice. You see what I'm saying? So she's not entirely wrong, but she's just pissed because it's like, and here's the thing. I'm going to say that to an extent she's wrong because in her mind, she's like, men are treated differently. In the real world, yes, I would agree. Yes, and the irony. But in this particular instance, it's not a man thing. It's you're a superstar, so you're supposed to be held accountable. It's like, when you become a role model, you need to act like one. And this is how I hold myself, and I'm not even, manifesting, but I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? But when people look at you as inspiration and when people admire you, you need to move differently. You just do. This is why people that are really big, they tend to fall apart. I mean, look at how Nicki got attacked and then she lost her shit. Ariana's got a fragile sense of self because she's not a legitimate role model. And I know that you guys are going to scream at me in the comments for this. I'm not saying in terms of her talent and success. Great. But in terms of her ability to be friends with women, in terms of her ability to pick healthy, happy relationships, not a great role model. And so it's not that people are losing their shit because she's a female homewrecker. It's that she's a megastar, so she's supposed to move accordingly. Like, I'm seeing in my mind's eye Princess Diana, and it's like Princess Diana would never do anything like that because she moved from her heart, and that's what made her such a icon. But Ariana's moving with what's in it for me, and the cost of that caught up with her. So it's like, you know what I'm seeing is that meme where it's like the point and it says you and the point's going over their head. That's Ari. She just doesn't get it. I think she's comparing herself because Ethan's not struggling the way that she is. And so she's like, men have it easier. And to an extent, I would agree, but it's not that in this situation. It's that This would have happened if, let's say, Justin Bieber did it. Justin would have got the same amount of flack because he's that same caliber of celebrity. Ethan's a no-name. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there are people that are big into musicals that are like, what are you talking about? He's great. But I didn't fucking know him. Most of us didn't. You know what I mean? So she's just very victim mentality. Woe is me. Got to find an excuse other than going within and taking accountability for what I've done. The delusion, man. She's like, I just want everybody to see him the way that I do. I want this to be over. Why are you guys always up my ass about what I do? Why do you guys care who I sleep with? I mean, the song Yes and, so that makes sense that just came out. But it's like, move on. Like, that's where her head's at right now. It's like, move the fuck on. I can't enjoy my happily ever after until you guys let it go, which is not the truth. You can be happy despite other people not rooting for you. Again, this is a trauma response. Not everybody's going to love you, and that's okay. Not everybody's supposed to. Only the people that are right for you will. And I think that Ethan's getting kind of drained because it's like, I always have to be there for you. I always have to make you feel better, but you're not moving on. And it's like, well, yeah, of course not, because my fans aren't moving on, so I can't be who I want to be because, and then it's just like a spiral of the same fucking conversation. Like, I'm getting annoyed, and I feel like I'm in Ethan's energy. It's like, I think he still is like, this is Ariana Grande. I got a good one, because I'm seeing Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson in my mind. It's like, I'm just happy to be here. Like, that's kind of the vibe. But I feel like he's kind of getting drained by her. And it's like, I think he's also hoping that this album changes the fate of her, because it's like, I really just can't deal with your bullshit anymore. Like, I'm going to be honest. I think he's tired of her complaining. He's more, you know, he's kind of giving me the vibe of like someone who's more lighthearted, wants to focus on the good, even if we should be focused on the bad. Kind of a escapism type of personality, at least right now. I think he's very focused on his career, but I think when he goes home and he has to deal with the same fucking argument and the same problems that Ari's been complaining about since the day they got together, he's just like, with that King of Cups in reverse, I'm drained. Like, I feel like sometimes she complains, because I'm being shown the scene from Trainwreck where she's like venting and he's falling asleep. So I feel like there are moments where she's just complaining about the same shit and he's like, yes, dear. Yes, honey. Yes, you're right. Yep, totally. And he's like zoning out to the TV, zoning out to his phone, actually falling asleep. Like, it's giving me the vibe of like, just shut up. Like, I'm gonna be honest. But then also with the King of Cups in the reverse, it's giving me a double message with Ari, where it's like, right now, she's very much in her masculine energy. She feels defeated. She feels angry. She feels resentful. I think she had this in her head that, like, fans are meant to be more like a cult, and you're supposed to support every single thing I do. That's kind of the vibe it's giving me. It's like, you love me, then you should love me unconditionally. But that's not how life works. You know what I mean? I mean, in a relationship, that's endgame, but your fans don't need to love you unconditionally. And I think right now she feels very entitled. And I don't see any remorse. So, yeah. Oh, no. You're already comparing Dalton and Ethan? Shut up. No. What if? Shut the fuck up. Bro. I'm hearing fumbled the bag. I think Dalton had a way about, yeah, because I'm hearing this song, it's not Martina McBride, Shania McTwain, where it's like, you got away with me, somehow you got me to believe in everything that I could be. I gotta say, you really got away. This is Ethan, and then this is Dalton, and this is intuition in the middle. It's like, did I throw away a good thing? Did I jump the gun? Did I fuck up? Like, I think she's so in her head right now that, like, this is just all of her worries coming up. This is like the 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords in my mind's eye. It's like stress. She's stressed. And she might even mention Dalton in the album too. Because it's giving me the vibe of like, I fucked up. Like it's kind of giving me Taylor Swift realizing she fucked up with Joe Alwyn. It's kind of giving me that same vibe. I've always said that there's a parallel there. Taylor Swift and Joe and Ariana with Dalton. It's like those two were the good guys for them, and they fucked it up because they don't know what good looks like, because you've been brought up in chaos, so you're going to attract chaos until you decide you don't want it anymore. And so I feel like Ethan's just not really passing the vibe check. It's like he's childish. And with the Knight of Wands coming out as Dalton, he's kind of childish too. But it's like Dalton knew what to say. He knew how to get her out of her own head, knew how to get her out of her own way. I see him being like, let's go take a trip. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Whereas Ethan's like, don't worry about it. It'll pass, blah, blah, blah. And it's like the approach is what's bothering her. It's like Dalton used to know. But again, it's kind of giving me grass is greener energy too. So like she might just feel this way because she doesn't have Dalton anymore. Whereas like we tend to put people on a pedestal and then if we talk to them later, it's like, oh wait, you're not as great as I thought. So she could just be, you know, hyper fixating on like what I lost. Cause I'm hearing the song What Hurts the Most by Rascal Flatts. So it's like, I almost wonder if there's going to be a couple of songs that are low key dedicated to Dalton that are in the album because it's like, yeah, I'm hearing the song Words I Didn't Say by Rascal Flatts where it's like, I didn't get to tell everything. I didn't get to explain my side. I didn't get to tell you what I did care about, what did matter. But I definitely do think right now she's comparing Ethan and Dalton. It's like, you're not measuring up the way I just feel like Dalton knew how to bring her down in a way that Ethan just doesn't because he's more carefree and Ariana's all cares, no free. You know what I mean? Whereas Dalton had spent enough time with her that he knew how to like bring her back down to reality. And then with the Emperor coming out right next to it, it's like it's given boss energy. So I feel like he could tame her. And with this 7 cups, that's like, am I delusional? Like, did I really make up this relationship in my head? Is Ethan really the one? What am I fighting for? Like, can we consistently grow? I was already building something and I threw it away. Maybe I'm the problem. Like I'm hearing Taylor Swift, it's me, hi, I'm the problem. I think she's slowly getting there. It's very, very slow, but I think she's slowly getting there. But I also think that she loves to blame men because I'm being drawn to this apple and it's reminding me of like Eve eating the apple and how everybody blames women. And it's just like, I think because she's so bitter about the situation and she doesn't know how to take accountability, she's throwing all the blame on men as a whole. That's where this is coming from. It's like Ethan's not stepping up to the plate the way I need him to. Dalton wasn't what I needed when I wanted him there, but now I'm second guessing things. Did I fuck up? He didn't chase me, so it's not like... Because I feel like he's the type that's like, if you want to leave, there's the door. And I feel like she's used to men just being like, oh my God, you're Ariana Grande, where Dalton seems to have a better sense of self. So it's like, did I fuck up? Like, that's the vibe of Ari right now. It's like, did I fuck up? And then I'm being drawn to how Beyonce doesn't really do interviews, but then she shares her story through her music. So I feel like that's how Ari's album's going to play out. It's like what I didn't get a chance to say. So I don't even know that. I think Yes and will probably be one of the only songs where it really focuses on Ethan because this is more about changing the narrative of me and changing the narrative of the circumstances and the hands that I was dealt. Like that's the vibe. It's just giving me this vibe of like, I don't remember if it's Brittany or Christina, forgive me. I'm 32 years old. But that song where it's like, when will my reflection show who I really am inside? I think it was Christina. But that's kind of the vibe. It's like, nobody sees me. Nobody gets me. I hope this album does it. Like, that's the vibe. 6 of Coins, unequal give and take. Okay. Okay. Now we're on to something. I thought I'd have to pull different groups of cards. So, okay. I do feel like Ethan is over his ex, but that being said, I feel like Ari gets triggered whenever they talk, and they have to talk because there's a kid involved. So I feel like whenever there's communication, I almost feel like because Lily's pissed and she knows that that Ethan has to talk to her, I think that she might do like quick jabs or might be like I can almost see her being like semi-petty, but in a right way. Like, look at how snobby this chick looks, but like in a way that is deserving. Focus, please. There we go. Okay. It's giving me the vibe of like, you're picking up your son on Friday, right? You don't have like an Ariana thing going on, do you? Like you're going to put our son last. Like it's giving me that. Like I feel like Lily kind of claps back. But then with that 5 of Swords, it's like he just kind of lets it go and moves on for like the sake of the kid. And again, it's another point of contention for Ari where she's like, what did I get myself into? And I told you guys, I saw this in the last reading I did of them. I'll try to remember to link them. But when I mention other readings, I tend to link them in the description. So if you want to see them, they're there most of the time. But I feel like there are times where she's like, don't text her, you're with me, or that can wait. Because, like, I see them on the bed, like, it feels like a hotel room, and I see them, like, enjoying each other's company, and then Ethan's phone gets a text, and it's Lily, and it has to do with the kid. Like, it's nothing deep. And then she's like, can you put the phone down for 5 fucking minutes and focus on me? Because now it's like my fans have abandoned me, and I'm out here on my own, and I've fucked up a lot of good things, and so the only person I have to depend on right now is Ethan, and so Ethan's got to be 110% on his game, or else he's going to get the wrath of Ari, because Ari is just so scorned. So even though Lily's coming in with kid questions, and she's not even really asking for much, Ari's like, is this even worth it? Like, do I really want to deal with this? Like, this is so stressful. My life is stressful. Is she going, how many of these fucking celebrities are going through Saturn returns? Because that's what this feels like. It's like, or maybe the whole celebrity culture, because Pluto's in Aquarius, everybody's going, what is life? Because that's kind of the vibe here. It's like, do I really want to deal with the baby mama? Which, again, I saw this in a last reading I did of them. Do I really want to deal with them exchanging conversations, or would I be better off walking away? But then the moment I touch that card, I'm reminded of the song Thank You Next, and it's like, I don't want to be embarrassed. And that's why she was ashamed of the Dalton thing, because it's like, I said I was going to get married to the last person, and then I fumbled the bag. But listen, like, you just realized you weren't meant to be together, whatever. But now I think she's already getting the ick from Ethan. And with that heartbreak card, it's like, tired of seeing you two together. I think Lily's still heartbroken by the situation. I think Ari wants to leave. I think sometime Lily's kind of like, ooh, let me poke the bear, because maybe she will leave. But I think it's more of like fuck you, you're not a girl's girl, instead of it being like, I want him back. I don't think she wants Ethan back. I think it's more like, I want justice of my own type of vibe, if that makes sense. But her very existence is pissing off Ari. It's triggering Ari. It's making Ari more uncomfortable. And notice, like, I mean, I always notice this because they always have swords. But in this Three of Swords, it's like, words are hurting my heart. So you talking to Lily is hurting my heart. The fandom calling me a homewrecker is hurting my heart. Me not being able to speak my truth is hurting my heart. And then it's like, should I move on and just start over? But I'm already invested in this, so I can't. Like, I don't know if you guys know Cancers, and I'm not trying to drag you, so if the shoe fits, lace it up. I don't know what to tell you. But I know a lot of Cancers that will commit. I mean, they will, like, think of a car that's got 3 flat tires. It's like they will ride that shit home. Like, and hey, you know, power to you. But I just feel like Ari is not emotionally invested. It's kind of, you know what I'm hearing is like, well, isn't this the consequences of my own actions? So it's kind of like, trying to make this a good thing because I convinced everybody else that it was a good thing. That's the vibe. Yeah, I don't want to be in the public eye. I think she also feels that Ethan's kind of immature compared to what she's used to and compared to what she likes. Because you know what I'm seeing is Travis Kelce doing the whole Viva Las Vegas and acting a fucking fool. It's kind of giving me that same vibe where it's like, you're kind of embarrassing. How did I not notice this before? Because here's the thing. When we're lacking something within us, we're going to chase somebody and we're going to ignore the red flags. But once we finally got them, because we're chasing something outside of ourselves, that's when we see the red flags. So now that she's got him and they're alone together more often than anything else, it's like, oh, you're kind of cringy. Oh, you're kind of immature. Oh, you're kind of not what I was looking for. So again, not buying this relationship. I think she's trying to find ways to be vulnerable and create a connection, but I think it's just, I'm hearing buyer's remorse. So, you know, take that as it resonates. Yeah, my stability is what matters right now. Let me turn this into music. It's giving me Taylor Swift after every breakup. Like, at least I could turn it into something financially fulfilling. Yeah, it's like, let me turn today's struggle into tomorrow's financial skyrocketing. You know what I mean? I don't feel, where's the love in this? No 2 of Cups, no Lover's card. It's all, I'm in pain. Let me turn this into a banger album. I'm dating a man-child. I don't even want to be in this anymore. I don't want to look stupid. Here's where I'm at. Like, that's the fucking vibe. What's the back deck? Yeah, being stuck at a crossroads, but this cycle won't end because I'm the problem. The Lover's in reverse. What did I tell you? She doesn't want to be with him. You're not going to sit here and convince me she's in love. It's like, I'm seeing like egg on my face. It's like, I fucked up, and now I got to own the fuck up that I did, which is stupid. If you fucked up, just admit you fucked up. Like, that's it. But notice how on this world card, it's like she's still clinging to the guy. So it's like, I don't care how stupid I look. I need to commit because that's 6 of Cups. In the past, I keep fucking up. And she's got this like self-worth mixed with making a relationship work. So it's like, I need to stick around because I said it was going to work. I just keep being drawn to her song, Thank You Next. It seems like that's a Bible to her. It's like, I can't fuck up again because I said I was going to get married and then I got married and then I got divorced. So I can't keep having failed relationships. But what she's not realizing is she's the reason for her failed relationships. You don't attract karmic relationships if you're working on yourself. This girl's not working on herself. She has a lack of self-love, a lack of self-trust. She's picky and she is a little entitled, to be honest with you. Yeah, but she's not naive, but she doesn't want to make the change. That's exactly what this is. Real quick, because I know a bunch of y'all asked, I will see how Dalton feels. Let's see. All right, so let's take a look at Dalton. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm hearing the song Meet Me at the Altar, but it's the part where it's like, ha, 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 ha. And now I'm seeing the bully from The Simpsons that goes, ha, ha. I'm telling you, I feel like he's like living the dream right now. It's like karma. I feel like he's sitting here and he's watching karma play out and it's like, well, isn't that what you deserve? Like, that's kind of the vibe. All right, how does Dalton feel right now, Spirit? I feel like he's like, fuck you. Like, that's kind of the vibe. I'm hearing the song, fuck you and your mom and just, it's like, it feels like, it's so funny. I tap into his energy and now I can't stop smiling. Whereas when I was in Ari's energy, I was like very hyper fixated on everything and overwhelmed. And now it's just like, I feel like I could take a cruise. I feel like I could get away. Like, I feel like he's just petty and I like it. Yep, an investment that didn't pay off, walked away from it. The relationship. Okay, that's just telling us the story because it didn't work. It was a matter of time before it failed, and it quickly did. I feel like he's just a very matter-of-fact person. This just tells the story. I invested a lot of time. It didn't work. We walked away from our relationship, again, because it didn't work, these 8s. I'm prioritizing money right now. It was bound to fail. And it was erratic. So I feel like at the end of the relationship, she was kind of showing her true colors too. Again, it's given me, I feel like they have this in common. Ariana and Taylor Swift, it's like headstrong, high strung. And I feel like Dalton would try to bring her down and it was really hard. And it's almost like he's seeing what Ethan's going through and it's like, she ain't so great now, is she? Like, that's kind of the vibe. Like, oh, you wanted to steal my woman. Well, look at what comes with that. You know, it's kind of giving me like, look at the baggage. You really didn't think through that one, did you? Like, Dalton's petty. And it's like, it's the petty of like, I don't need to put it on social media. It's giving me the vibe of like when you leave someone and it's like the karma is not having me. That's the vibe. That's where Dalton's at. It's like the karma is not having me. Like, look at you. You're a mess. Like, that's the vibe. It's like, yep, now I don't have to walk on eggshells anymore. Now I can focus on my money, my stability. I think he's just focused on building his own life. King of Wands in the reverse. Well, because he pulled back his energy. Okay. I do think he's still a little bit heartbroken just because it's all in the media and he can't really avoid it. And people are like, where's Dalton? Because I see like all the interviews and stuff. And it's like, where's Dalton been in 6 months and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I want to move on from this part of my life. Can you please let me let this go? Like, that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, it's like he's trying to hold on to his normalcy in his life. And for the first time, I noticed how, I mean, I've noticed before, but I'm really being drawn to how dead this hand looks. It's like, let me just focus on my money. And I'm hearing the song, The Old Me is Dead and Gone. So it's like, stop. It's kind of giving me the vibe, like, stop shipping me and Ari. We're not getting back together. I'd be dumb to take her back. Like, that's kind of the vibe. It's like, I'm hearing no tears left to cry, but I'm being drawn to how this would be like a dead tree. It's like there's no fruits to grow on this dead tree. This is dead and gone. He's done. He's been done. It's like, haha, I'm done. Like, that's the vibe. I think he doesn't want people to see him sweat. That's why the moon card's here. It's like, well, yeah, obviously I'm still gonna go through the heartbreak. Like, we didn't break up too long ago, and then she just jumped from relationship to relationship. I'm a human being. I have feelings. But at the same time, it's like, two things can be true at the same time, right? You can lose someone that you had love for and that hurts really freaking bad because you loved them and now they're gone. But you can simultaneously know that leaving them is probably also the best thing you ever did for yourself. You know what I mean? You can love someone from a distance. And I feel like that's where he's at, where it's like the nostalgia, the memories, and the good times, and the fact that I have to see you on TV all the time. Like I'm being drawn to how I think it was Pete and Ari, right? Where they broke up and then Pete was like, yeah, and I got to hear about her all the time. She's always in the interviews and blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's how Dalton feels. It's like, I just would like to move on with my life, please. Can you let it go? Like that's the fucking vibe. Honestly, Dalton's he's so down to earth, which is why I can see how him and Ari didn't work out, because he'd have to keep bringing her down to earth. She needs to work on herself because no one's going to want to deal with that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think things will always fall through. But Ethan kind of feels like a male pick-me, so they could ride it out, especially with her being a Cancer. She could ride this out of just pure fear of looking stupid. But I don't know. Let's check in with Dalton. Yeah, he's stressed. I mean, are we shocked? I think he has moments of weakness where he's like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song from Rascal Flatts where it's like never knowing what could have been and not seeing that loving you is what I was trying to do. Because I think I almost see him like looking at tabloids, like unintentionally, because like Google shows everything, and him being like, you're sitting here and you're stressed out and the world's turned on you. And yeah, this is the consequences of your own actions, but don't you have any remorse, like buyer's remorse? Don't you have any regret? Don't you realize what I was trying to do and give to you? Like I was never enough for you. You always made it seem like what I had to offer wasn't good enough. You always wanted me to be someone who wanted to grow and be a celebrity stardom like you. And now look at you. The very thing that you love has bit you in the ass. And now you can't see where I'm coming from. Now you can't see why I didn't want to mix business and pleasure. Now you don't get it. I'm shocked that you're not crawling back to me. Like that's kind of the vibe. It's like he's got his own stress because it's like everything that I warned you about, everything that I told you didn't matter is everything that ended up tearing you down. You were so concerned about your fans over our relationship, and then your fans turn on you because you made one bad move. I was right. It's giving me the vibe of like, I told you so. I think he still has love for her, but not to the point where he would disrespect himself. It's giving evolved Leo, to be honest with you. It's like, I love you, but I don't love you more than I love me. And honestly, that claps. Everybody should act this way. Everybody should act accordingly. If someone's not showing up for you, this is the energy you should be in. I know my worth. You're going to either come to my throne, but you're sure as shit not going to take me down from it. And I feel like Ari just didn't get him. And now it's like everything he predicted came true. Like the irony in this. Like she always wanted to be seen in public. She wanted him to get involved in things. And he was like, let's keep this shit separate. Look at what it does to couples. And now the very thing he was concerned about happened to her. And it's just like, told you so. Yeah, he's ready to move on, move forward. I get this in every reading. I want to take a new journey. I don't think he wants to date right now. I'm going to be honest with you. If he is, I'd be shocked because it's just like scorned, watching my ex jump from relationship, seeing how that didn't work out. I want to be smart in how I approach things moving forward. And I'm also still in pain. So why put that on somebody else? Very evolved energy. I love this. I wish I read more people like this. We would be a healthier world if more people thought this way. He has moments where he thinks about reaching out, but I think he uses it as inspiration in his career somehow. So maybe it motivated him to work harder. Maybe it motivated him to climb a ladder in whatever it is that he does. Doesn't he because I'm being drawn to this briefcase. Doesn't he sell like real estate or something? I'm seeing like houses. Does he sell houses or something? I forget. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But it's kind of giving me the vibe of like, you know how these women, like, they get their heart broken and then they get inspired to write new music? It's kind of giving me that same vibe, except, like, it's lighting a fire under him to, like, better his business or something. Or, like, maybe now he's better with sales because he knows how to move better. Like, there's just something about the pain that he had. It's, like, flipping it into his business. That's the vibe. Yeah, it's, like, today for tomorrow energy. What hurt me then is going to make me money now. They're both in that energy. I'll say that much. Relationships. Yeah, I think sometimes he thinks about reaching out, but then he's like, yeah, absolutely not. It's kind of giving me that vibe of like, you know, when you have that day where you miss that ex who treated you like shit, and like maybe if you had a few too many or you smoked a little too much, you're like, maybe I should reach out. And then if you do, you very quickly realize you fucked up. It's kind of giving me that vibe, except I don't think he lets himself, especially with that Leo energy. I mean, I've been a Leo who's done this, but with that Leo energy, I think his stubbornness is outweighing his interest in trying to be like, see, I told you so. We could have been better. Like, I think it's more emotions and thoughts than it is like I would actually put action into it. Yeah, kind of apathetic towards life right now, trying to figure out what his next move is. Because it was like, my plan was you. My happily ever after was you. And now you're gone. And now I'm watching you with someone else. So where is my happily ever after then? What constitutes as happily ever after? I thought it was you and I was dead wrong. And now I'm becoming a different version of me. So what happens next? Like, I feel like he's kind of lost and it's kind of sad. I'm gonna pull a couple more, but I feel like this sums it up. Yeah, definitely a very introspective phase of his life right now. Just more concerned about money than making any new opportunities. Refusal to change. Why? I don't think he wants to date. I don't. Refusal to change with the Fool, which is like a lack of naivety, and then Page of Cups is like new, fulfilling, and like it's literally Cupid on there. It's like, I see how people move. I see how they give me one face, but they mean a different thing. I see how people can backstab and sabotage and hurt you, and I don't ever want to fall victim to that again. I don't ever want to look stupid again. That's kind of the vibe that he's coming from, and honestly, he's not wrong. And then there's Ethan at the back of the deck. You know what's funny? He does feel like karma came for Ethan too. It's like, I detached from the bullshit. You got my girl. How's that treating you? You're in the public eye. You look like a fool. She looks like a fool. Your relationships look foolish. Karma's a bitch. Like, that's where Dalton's at right now. Karma's a bitch. I may be in pain. I may be struggling, but she was emotionally inept. She was emotionally, I wouldn't say abusive, but I feel like that's how he feels right now just because he's so angry. And it's like, yeah, she may be beautiful, but she's actually heartless. Like, that's kind of the vibe where Dalton's coming from. Like, sure, she's beautiful and she's a leader and she's a queen and it's so easy to follow her. But in that same breath, she'll break your heart and rip your heart out. And then you're left with nothing. Like, that's where he's at. I think he has a mixture of like, I hate you, but also karma got you, so let me just move on with my life. So since I have some extra time, we'll really quickly look at how Lilly feels, and then I guess we'll call it. You know, as I was shuffling, I heard that song. Fuck, what's it called? Where it's like, but I never told you what I should have said. What is it? I just held it in. Da-da. I miss everything about you. Can't believe that I still want you. I mean, she's a female. Of course she's going to be a little heartbroken. Duh. So I don't feel like she's over Ethan. I keep seeing like the white picket fence and the kids in the house. I feel like he promised her a lot. I feel, again, are we shocked? Like, they just had a child. Like, so I feel like she's like, her idea of the future is crumbling. It's like, I thought we were going to have the white picket fence. I feel like she had the dream of like maybe having a son, then a couple of years later having a daughter. It's given me like older brother, younger sister, someone to rely on type energy. I think she really believed in like the American dream of like family first and yada yada. And I feel like Ethan just kind of ripped her heart out. And you know, like when you go through the stages of grief, it's like denial, sadness, anger, bargaining, acceptance. I'm sure I'm getting the order wrong. It feels like she's kind of going back and forth between sad and anger and a little bit of denial because like she's got to see this shit in the public eye. But she's struggling for sure. I think that's kind of why she reaches out, bringing up the kid. I think sometimes it's not even about the kid. I think she knows that Ari doesn't have a strong sense of self. On top of, I think there's been comments made where Ethan has probably said, because I'm being drawn to the one time I dated a dude with kids, even though I don't want kids. Not morals matter, y'all. Remember that. But his ex would used to like hit him up about the kids whenever we were together. And it's kind of giving me that same vibe of like, I want to ruin your fun time. I want to make you think about me while you're with her. Like, it's kind of giving me that vibe, which, hey, go you, Lilly. You deserve to be vengeful if you want. But that's kind of the vibe. I feel like sometimes when she's texting about the kid, it's not even really about the kid. It's just to make him not have his full attention on Ari. Allegedly. And for entertainment purposes only. No facts here. Dude, I spit. I got so excited. Okay, anyway. Yeah, she's not. She wants to move on, but she doesn't, she feels like a shell of herself right now. And it's kind of giving me the vibe of like staying strong for the kid with that Page of Pentacles in the reverse. It's like, I got to be strong for the kid. I have to be strong because I'm a mother. I have to be strong and I have to move forward because it's my job. Like, it's my duty. Like, I'm seeing army in my mind. It's like, it's what I have to do. So she's very, I mean, I did Google her. It said she's a Virgo. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's what we're going with. And with Virgo energy, that's not really shocking. I still need to build. I still need to succeed. I still need to plan, strategize. Not a lot of emotion. Not really shocked. And I'm a Virgo stellium, so shush, calm down. If it doesn't fit you, then it doesn't fit you. It's okay. Yeah, more focused on work, more focused on building. What does she do for a living? Because it seems like she's more focused on career and finances and giving the life that she never had to her kid. Because I just keep being drawn to like communication involving the dad and making sure that the kid is taken care of and making sure that the kid has the money. And I'm being drawn to like Brittany and how, what's his loser face? K-Fed, and always having money for the kids and like more money than they needed. It's kind of giving me that vibe. Like, you fucked me over. The least you could do is make sure that our kid has like the idealist life. Like, I'm seeing the show Jane the Virgin in my mind's eye where they're taking the kid to try out new preschools and the dude's rich, so they're trying to pick out an expensive one. It's kind of giving me that vibe where it's like, I want the best for my child since you fucked me over. That it's the least you can do. Like, that's kind of the energy. Yeah, no success here. We're not shocked. I'm stuck at a crossroads. I'm being heavily drawn to this blindfold. I think she does everything she can not to be aware of it. It wouldn't shock me if, like, she doesn't use Google, or if she has an Alexa, if she uses that as a means of Google. It's kind of giving me the vibe of, like, I will do whatever I can to make sure I don't see anything about my ex and his girlfriend. Like, that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, Queen of Cups. That's Ari. It's like, it wouldn't shock me if she uses like a different streaming service instead of Google. Like, maybe she uses Brave or just something else. It's like, or maybe like back in the day when Ari would pop up, it'd be like, block this from being seen. It's like she's doing everything she can to avoid seeing what's going on because it hurts her heart. It's like, I'm trying to shut that shit off so that I could be strong for me and my kid. Yeah, it's like, you took advantage of me, you left me out in the cold, and now I got to see you with your beautiful fucking girlfriend who's like the bee's knees to you. No, thank you. Like, that's the vibe. Yeah, it's like, you pulled your love away from me to be successful with somebody else. Is this for your career? Was it worth it? Like, very angry and sad. I love how Ari's a Cancer, but every time I drop a Queen of Wands, I feel Ari. You know what's funny? I almost wonder, she's either said this to Ethan outright, which she gives me the type of energy where she would tell him outright, but if she didn't, she's thought about it. What I'm seeing with this Six of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Six of Cups in reverse, it's like, don't you realize that she fucks up every good thing she has? What makes you think that you're going to be any different? That's the vibe of these three cards. Six of Pentacles is contracts, but it's also an equal give and take. Queen of Wands, it's Ari, but she's in the reverse because she's reckless. Six of Cups is nostalgia from the past. It's in the reverse, so it's bad memories. This girl fucks up good things. You don't think she's going to do the same to you? You don't think she's going to break your heart too? I feel like Lily's been like, joke's on you, because she's going to break your heart and leave you out in the cold just like she left Dalton, just like she does to every other person. You don't think you're going to be on the next thank you next song? Like, it's very much sassy and like matter of fact. Like, I don't need to hurt your feelings. I'm going to hurt you with facts. What makes you think that you're good enough for Ari when she's dropped everybody else up until now? It's kind of given him like a dose of realism, which is probably, again, making him get into that emotionally immature energy that he's in, where it's like, let's not take things so seriously. Because I think in his head, he's like, she's probably right. Like, I probably will lose her. Because remember how I was seeing Pete Davidson with Ari, where it's like, I'm just glad to be here kind of vibe? I feel like Ethan's that same way. He probably doesn't, like, I do think he gives her the dream just to keep her around, but I don't think he believes in it. Like, it reminds me of someone I dated who proposed to me, but we never got married. And it was just kind of this known thing that we were never going to get married. It was more about like, let me put a ring on it so I can keep her. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't even shock me if this dude throws a ring on Ari anytime soon just to make sure she sticks around. But the thing is, like, she'll leave no matter what. So, like, I feel like that's where Lily's coming from. It's like, she'll drop you too. I feel like Lily's kind of waiting for long-term karma to come in where Ari realizes that it's not that great. And I do feel like Lily intentionally pokes the bear. Like I said, those text messages, I feel like she finds ways to make Ari's life just a little bit harder. You know what this is reminding me of? You ever see that meme on Facebook where it's like, you could fuck with someone's life as a ghost, but you have to do it in ways that inconveniences people. You can't actually hurt them. So it's like, for instance, they always bang their shin against that metal thing on a bed, or their coffee table is not in the right place, and so they always bang their pinky toe. Like, that's kind of the vibe. It's like, I'm going to inconvenience your life, Ari, but in ways that you can't even blame me. So again, like, the texting about the kids, but it's not really about the kids. Or, oh, there's a mix up in scheduling. So now you're sitting here waiting for me, but I'm not actually going to show. It's like, it's like Lily's just pulling fuck moves to piss off Ari to get her even more worked up. Cause it's like, you fucked me over. I don't have to be a girl's girl either, bitch. Like, that's the vibe. The petty in this reading, I am here for it. Yeah, I feel like Ethan tries to give the peace. He gives me more of a peacemaker vibe where it's like, listen, I have to be the father. We're stuck to each other. Can we please just keep it civil? Can we keep the fighting to a minimum? If you're mad, be mad at me. You don't need to be mad at her. I'm an adult. I make my own choices, but she's coming out as a queen. He's coming out as a knight. And if anything, Lily knows that this man is not a man. And I'm not trying to drag him. In fact, we got a lot of adults in society, especially running the world, that are actually children in adult bodies. So there's a lot of people. But that being said, I feel like he's had these conversations with her where she tries to pick a fight and he's like, can you just keep it between us? Like, this is our issue. We have a kid now. Let's make it work for the kid. Like, I'm hearing that song where it's like, make it work for the kid or the family or something like that. So right now, I think he's just trying to do like, it's funny because I see him trying to calm down Lily. And then in the same breath, he's trying to calm down Ari. And it's like, the only happiness that I really get is when I escape and I work and do things that I enjoy. I think this is why he acts out in childlike ways, is because he doesn't like conflict, and he's dealing with conflict everywhere he goes. Yeah, Five of Swords in reverse is like conflict not worth having. What's hidden? What? What? No! Oh no! What? Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, no facts here, and these are emotions and they can change any day. I think Ethan feels like he fucked up. I do. Because I was like, wait, what? Like, conflict not worth having, and then the moon is what's hidden, then King of Coins, and I was like, who's the King of Coins? And then I heard Ethan, and I'm like, why Ethan? And then Four of Wands is like the rejection of home. Seven of Wands is something I should have fought for. Nine of Swords is anxiety, insomnia, regrets. So it's like, did I pick the wrong girl? I could have had a home with a family. Like, look at this. I could have been with my child every day. But instead, I picked the girl who I can't even make happy. Yeah, I'm hearing Bonnie Raitt, I can't make you love me. It's like, is Lily right? Did I fuck up? Because notice how she allegedly is a Virgo from what I picked up. Now he's showing up as a King of Coins. That would be a divine counterpart. So I think that when she picks at him and she's like, you don't think she's going to throw you away too? You really think it was worth throwing away your family? I think part of him goes, was it really worth throwing away my family? Did I just make a quick dumb move? Because I'm being drawn to my reading with Kim Kardashian and Travis Barker, where he used to like spank it to Kim's posters. And it's giving me the vibe of like, is this the girl that you just spank it to because she's a celebrity, but not the girl you settle down with? That's fucking tea. Oh no. But again, like I said, the pride with all these celebrities is very strong. So just because they feel this way doesn't mean they're going to end the relationship. We've seen these relationships drag out where we find out they've been separated for 7 years. Their pride is strong. But that being said, I think I think Ari can feel this, which is why she hates when they talk, because Ethan second guesses himself. It's like, maybe I have made this up to be something that it's not. If this was love, why do I have to fight so hard for it? Why do I have to defend my very existence with her? It wasn't this hard with Lily. Was I not appreciating what I had with Lily because it was easy? Oof. 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 There's not. Oh, and there's Lily. Look, they're right next to each other. And look at the snobbiness on her face. It's like, you really fucked up a good thing, didn't you? I think he's afraid he made a mistake. Oof. Oof. I'm stuck. How do I get unstuck? 3 of Wands. 3's a crowd. Page of Wands. Was my inspiration more about my penis than something that... Because Page of Wands is usually a little wand, right? So it's reminding me of like a dick. But it's also reminding me about like something that I'm passionate about, but it's new. It's young. So it's like I was really excited about her, but I didn't think long term. So now it's like I'm looking at things with the Hangman in reverse. I'm looking at things in a different perspective. And notice how in this 3 of Wands, which always reminds me of like 3's a crowd. So it's like giving me cheater, stuff like that. Notice how the person in the middle is running to the past. They're not running forward. They're not running to the future. They're running backwards. So I feel like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song every time I try to leave, something keeps holding me back. I feel like he has moments where he's like, maybe I shouldn't have made this choice. Maybe I should try to grovel and make it work with Lily. Maybe I put Ari on a pedestal that she didn't deserve. Maybe her fans are realizing something about her that I didn't see because I was... What's the female version of... the male version of dickmatized? I don't know. Vaginamatized? Yonitized? I don't fucking know. But it's giving me the vibe of like... Especially with this 8 of Swords right next to Lily. It's like... I don't feel like I'm in control, but I do when I'm with you. Yeah, because now I'm hearing the song, There's Hearts All Over the World Tonight, with the love of their life who feel like I feel when I'm with you. I feel like he's nostalgic about Lily now. It's like you don't know what you got till it's gone. The 3 of Cups in reverse, canceled celebrations. It's like, what did I do? What did I do? I feel like he's at a crossroads. He could change his mind and be like, yes, I choose Ari, whatever. Or he might just ride this into the ground like most celebrity couples do. But I do think there's a lot of regret. I just keep hearing buyer's remorse. So it's like hard for me to tap into Lily because it's kind of giving me like, well, it's the consequences of your own actions. And it's also giving me the vibe of like, if/when he does decide to try and get her back, she's already going to be, yeah, because I'm hearing the song The Old Me Is Dead and Gone, and I'm seeing snake skin in my mind's eye. So it's like by the time he realizes he made the wrong choice and comes groveling back, she's not going to take him back. I'd be shocked if she did. Because he's going to spend so much time writing it out with Ari. So by the time he realizes he made a mistake, she's going to be gone. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah, he might be leaning on things to make himself feel better. It feels more like work than anything else. But if there's like after work parties, he might be drinking a little bit too much. I kind of feel that for Ari too. She might be partying a little too hard. I'm not really sure, but it just feels like we're using escapism tendencies, which could include things. It's as simple as TV to as dark as heroin, like anything in between. TV, sex, video games, drugs, alcohol, they're all escapism tendencies if we're using them for the wrong reasons. And I feel like Ethan for sure. Ari potentially. I think she vents as a form of healing, which isn't really the best way to heal because you're not reflecting. But I don't know, they're all going through it. Behind closed doors, all of them, all 4 got their heart broken whenever this shit went down. And then 4, as I say 4. They're all not in their comfort zone. They're all exhausted. They all want this to be over with. They all want to be out of the paparazzi. Lily doesn't want to be talked about anymore. Dalton never wants to be talked about again. Ethan's having buyer's remorse. Ari's losing her shit. She thinks the album's going to fix everything. I doubt it. And yeah, that's where we're at. Anything else, Spirit? Vulnerability. Everybody's gripping to their money right now and how we can make the media look because we don't want to look stupid. They all have that in common. I asked how Lily was, right? Out of my comfort zone, but I'm still going to walk away because you were a burden to me and I'm not naive anymore. It's almost, I'm hearing like the trash took itself out. Kind of the vibe of like, there are some people, and I don't agree with this, but there are some people that are like, well, my man could cheat, so I don't want him following people and I don't want him doing this and that. Whereas I'm like, I want you to be around the girl you're worried about because if you're going to cheat, I'd rather you do it now so I can walk away. And I feel like that's where Lily is that's her mentality where it's like, if you're willing to leave me and our newborn, then I didn't lose out on much at all Like, that's kind of the vibe. It doesn't matter how much time I put in with the Seven of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. It doesn't matter how much time I put in. You walked away, so it's very clear that you were the burden, not me. We had a family. You threw that out, so I'm not the one who's losing. You are. Lily's very matter of fact. Yeah, and she's doing everything she can to ignore their relationship because she don't want to know. She don't want to hear about it. I do think she intentionally tries to poke the bear to piss off Ari and to fuck up their relationship because it's like, you did it to me, so if I make your life inconvenient, that's a not me issue. I love that, honestly. I think we'll leave it with that. Lily's a petty bitch, and I would love to be her friend, to be honest with you. But I'm going to leave it at that. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like. It really does support my page. Comment down below any and everything that you know, because I don't follow them. I don't know shit. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, just letting you know, I am booking up fast. Now it's like a 10-ish day wait. So message me on Facebook, Instagram, or my email, and I will get you in as soon as possible. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page and my future videos. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to read for you guys. Let me know what you want to see in future videos. Vote in the community post. Love you all, besties, so much. I hope you have a great day whenever you're seeing this, and I will catch you guys in my next video. So again, thank you so much for watching.